What state are you in? Rhode Island. No, I don't think my dad's going to be mad. Do they have long-term stay hotel rooms anywhere? Go to Ruby's house. Just show up there. Content. We don't have a car, bro. We don't have a car. I don't have a place to live, you idiot. You think if I had a place to live, I'd be doing this? The RV is our house. Dad. Okay. I know this is like the individual stuff, okay? And I do want to deal with the deeper things, okay? I just acted like a retard. You weren't being mean. You were just being accurate. But I just want to talk to you about this, okay? I don't want to deal with these little things either, but we got to make some kind of a decision. It's going to be like $350 to spend a night here.
But it wasn't last night?
Last night was like $180.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot to stay here. It's going to be like $250 minimum at any other place around here, except
it's Saturday night.
Because it's Saturday night and they're booked up, which is okay. I have the cash advance to pay for that, but we could also get an Uber back to the studio, or we could get an Uber to a much cheaper hotel somewhere else, which I haven't done the research. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Probably every hotel is going to be like $200 minimum for a Saturday night, but we could try to find some place that's cheaper.
Here's the problem.
Okay. Oh, you need your mic.
But you could have known that ahead of time.
I could have, but I didn't look into it. It's true. I didn't plan ahead.
I understand. I'm sympathetic.
And whatever we decide is the most prudent.
But then after tonight, it goes down to like the cheap.
Let me see. I did not even look ahead that far. Let me see. I can find that out in 2 seconds. Okay, if we check in, let's see, tomorrow night, it's going to be 123. And then if we checked in Monday night, hold on. It's going to be 115. Yeah.
Okay. So here's how I see this. Okay. So this is very similar to what I call the injera question.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Do you want to explain it since you know?
Yeah. When my parents were running a restaurant together, there was sort of like an underlying
You are directing your energy like literally towards me now.
Yeah.
And putting me on the spot because you're saying like, no, you're kind of. It's the injera question.
Yeah, I know.
Turn your body this way.
Okay.
And this is something that I think the reason that the camera is on is so that I don't get this kind of thing.
Okay.
And you can explain this because you know this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can maybe seek guidance from other people because this is a loop that occurs over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But it speaks to a larger issue as well that I think you can address. We have time.
Yeah.
To address it.
Okay. So the injera question is something that.
Although you've got to.
What?
You've got to ask for an extended.
The late checkout. Okay. Okay. Well, just hold on. Let me mute. I'll just call down. All right. I'll be right back.
The injera question, I think I'm allowed to say. I'm allowed to talk about. When we used to run the restaurant on the east side of Providence, it was clear that the restaurant was losing money because there was a problem structurally, and it had to do with the inability of my partner in that restaurant to manage people. And I'm very sympathetic with that inability. But it's kind of like if you're the manager of the back end of the restaurant and I'm the manager of the front end of the restaurant, and you can't manage people, in other words, get them to do the work, and you just do all the work, you have a crisis in the back end of the restaurant. And if we're equal partners in that restaurant, you have to solve that problem, or the restaurant has to end. But the problem in the back end of the restaurant, Ethiopian food is based on making this flatbread called injera, which is a very labor-intensive process, which we had people who had done this their whole lives. Okay, but it was tricky when they came to America to learn how to do it with like a different cooker, a different, even the ingredients are a little bit different. And it's a sourdough, so it's a sensitive kind of thing. So instead of kind of pushing the employees to learn how to do it, what happened is Grace's mother took it on herself to do it because she didn't like managing people.
Okay, 11:30.
And so I said, like, okay, well, this is a problem. We're losing money because we're paying people to basically stand around because you won't manage them. And I wasn't able to manage both the back end and the front end of the restaurant. So then, in a given morning, the idea is, so I'm saying, like, there's a problem here that needs to be addressed on a more fundamental level.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this question, okay, so are we going to talk about this, or am I going to go make the injera now because I haven't gotten the employees to do this?
Yeah.
And the restaurant can't open unless there's injera.
Mm-hmm. Catch-22.
Okay, so then it's turned to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, are we not going to open today?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I going to go and do this in a way that doesn't make sense because, like, the employees should have done this, but I haven't managed them. And I kind of know that I should, but haven't, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so then the question to me, is, are we going to sit here and waste time talking, or should I go and do it in this frenzied, frenetic way, which is going to exhaust me, put Grace in a position where she's now watching the kids and their needs are not getting met because I'm doing it in this frenetic way where if they come down and say, like, we need help, she has to say, like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Right? I need to do this.
Yeah.
And then after she does it, she's going to be totally exhausted and even more unable to manage the employees.
Yeah.
Who were manageable, but difficult. It's difficult to manage people, but like, okay, so are you going to get to the underlying problem at the cost of superficially, like, losing business, right? Because let's say it was a Saturday. This is like the day you got to make money.
Yeah.
And the question is, well, what do you want me to do? And my answer is, I can't answer that question. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Should we keep a dying thing alive, or should we just end it?
Yeah.
And you do have to shit or get off the pot in something like that. Now, I understand now that the question wasn't just the structure of the restaurant, but the family which was running the restaurant.
Right.
Okay, which there were structural problems. Okay.
Yeah.
But there was this, idea, like, let's figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was this, like, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me feel like I'm screwing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. Okay, but what if we talk about it and then we just end up in the same place because I'm not really listening to you? I'm not going. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm
Mhm.
not going to say like, okay, yeah, like there are huge problems here that are structural.
Mhm.
Structural, in other words, they're not able to be met with, right? They're like, I'm not capable or unwilling to manage people
Yeah.
in the back of the restaurant. And I'm also not able to take care of the kids.
Hmm.
And the idea is like, well, okay, it's still running, but it's like exhausting for everyone. So what do we do?
Yeah.
It was your idea,
Yeah.
which is kind of true. So, and I really think the answer is like, well, you've got to deal with the structural issues.
Yeah.
But now that it's like an emergency, okay,
You got to deal
I don't
with
think this is the time to deal with it because,
Right.
okay, like,
Right.
you have
I
to at some
understand.
point, and there were whole months when we took a break and I got
Yeah.
other people to run things. It was a shit show,
I remember.
but it's like, what are we doing?
I remember.
Okay,
Yeah.
and my impetus was always to pull back. And there was an understanding like, oh, okay, yeah, we should do that. But then it's like, well, you haven't figured it out. And the point is, well, it's tricky.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I do understand like the setup you're saying. I get that. I get that. But the thing is, like, what mom was doing there was like she was just trying to obfuscate constantly because she didn't actually want to talk about the deeper problems because she knew something was way, way off. I haven't wanted to talk about the deep problems because I've sort of had an irrational, immature like sense like it's too overwhelming to deal with, which is I don't think that's true. That's not true anymore.
no,
So the
but it's a
reason,
question of prudence.
yeah,
Okay, which again, prudence just means simply making the best decision with the limited knowledge you have
yeah,
and the limited, like the limitations, being real and honest and saying like, what's the best decision here?
yeah,
Okay. And I think there was an unwillingness to really look at the situation because it wasn't just the business, but like the whole family structure that was problematic structurally,
yeah,
right?
right,
But at a certain point, you got to say, well, it's worth it.
mm-hmm.
It's worth it. Yes, it's going to cost something short term to get to the long term. But I guess the question is like, do I want to avoid actually looking at the like deeper problems because I actually don't have an answer to them and it looks like everything's going to fall apart that I hold dear. But prudence is always going to dictate that you should deal with the underlying issue if it's so deep that it's affecting everything on a more superficial level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And in your case right now, you've got probably 60% of the people here are saying, Ben, you are too demanding. You're too demanding of grace. You're a demanding person. And what you want to do is use grace to launch a huge, like risky career. You've been trying to do this on a shoestring, and it puts a lot of pressure on her. That's absolutely true. And she's been victimized. She's been suffering. Okay. She's 21. You're 30 years older than her. Chill. Okay. And my thing is, no, I'm not going to. I'm never going to change. And if you say, but so then the point for you is to say, okay, yeah, like I can handle this guy. I can bring it on
yeah,
an equal level, not like, not like dragging your feet. Like I can bring it. I can bring it.
yeah,
I want him to do this with me because
yeah,
I want to do this too.
yeah.
I like the demandingness. I think we can take the risk and make it happen. Okay, but if not,
Yeah,
then you should figure that out. And I've been telling you privately, because you don't want me to say this publicly, there should be an off ramp.
Yeah.
At least theoretically,
Yeah.
where you say like, all right, I'm going to cut my losses. And that should have been with the insurer question.
Mm.
But by saying like, all right, fuck it, I'm not making the insurer and smashing it, right? Right? Like that's not how mature people, but that's sometimes how things get resolved. That's eventually how it got resolved.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Department of Health said like, this is not okay. You've got to shut down. And then subsequently, those deeper structural issues became obvious. And now we're in the situation we're in.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You can't both say, I mean, you can't say like, I'm down. I think this would be really fun. I think we can do this. I like your demanding this.
Yeah.
And I can't handle it. I don't like your demanding this. I don't want to do this. And you can't do both things.
That's true.
And that's beyond prudence. That's just basic rationality.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, if you're trying to make me into a nice person who doesn't have lofty aspirations and is fine with just like leading a, whatever life I'm able to lead at this point and not have these aspirations, like that ain't me.
Yeah.
And I'd rather try to do it I'm not gonna be able to do like whatever, like, okay, you've invested, whatever. But like, it feels to me like you've invested in something and you're not sure whether it's a good investment. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's not true. I'm not saying that. I absolutely believe this is a good investment. All I'm saying now is like, I'm once again in the Injera question place, but I do like,
so if you're a person who's like, I get it, think big, right?
Yeah.
Think big. Don't be niggardly, and that is not a politically incorrect term.
Yeah.
I need to stop being niggardly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like the Injera thing, like make the Injera because like, well, we got it right. Okay. We need to keep this dying child alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was the restaurant.
Right.
But I have no vision for how this child is going to thrive. Okay, then I'm just going to get more exhausted and frustrated. I'm going to be less able to contribute. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's imprudent.
Yes. Okay, wait. I don't know if I exactly see it. Taking care of being small-minded and like, can you just re-say it? I don't think I quite got it.
With the Injera question, okay, so I have like, do you have an answer to that? I have an answer to that.
I think she should have said, yeah,
there should have been an
off ramp, the restaurant.
But it shouldn't have been like, okay, like I hear what you're saying, and then right to the edge of where like now you say like, okay, well, like, oh my God, I guess let's do this, right? Like,
yeah,
because we haven't addressed the underlying issue.
Yeah.
Okay. At some point here in this discussion, there should have been like this kind of idea of like off-ramping.
Yeah.
Off-ramping.
Right.
Cut our losses in a way that's like fairly okay for everyone. Like prudent, right? Instead of having the health department come in, because that's obviously where it was headed, right? But there was this idea, I'm getting it. I want to, right? Okay. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, but you're not. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, we could either try to find someone who can do that and pay them, which we did, but like, that's really not going to work here. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Or, cut the hours way down or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
And hope that there's enough profit. Okay. But we just can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when the health department came in, we had a fridge filled with meat. It all went rotten. Mm-hmm. Right. And it was just like, this is imprudence, but like, okay, it was more prudent. It's like getting out of Afghanistan. Remember when the US got out of Afghanistan?
Yeah.
It's like
they had to leave some weapons and
some weapons, right? It was a disaster. Okay. Yeah. Because no one would be honest and say, we need an off ramp.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have got into this, but like, we got to get out of this. We're not going to win this war. Like it was just all this like doubling down until it was just like, all right, just pull the plug on the whole thing. And I give Biden credit for that.
Right.
But also, it was a total shit show. I do think it was just, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it was going to happen inevitably, but like, okay. So, but what I'm saying is, you have to examine the deeper issues. That's going to give you the answer to the more superficial issues. You can't get an answer if you don't have an answer down here. You can't answer this question.
Okay.
What is the answer? I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But in this literal situation.
Okay, so in the injera question is like, is this a viable restaurant? Is there really a realistic way in which we can turn this around and make money given who we are?
Right.
The answer was no.
Yeah.
No.
It was no.
But we could maybe have tried to sell it or something like that, but probably because the deeper issue had to do with the family structure, the answer is no. You can't have a family that's basically dysfunctional running a family business. And you're not going to be able to sell it either because it didn't become viable.
Right. Thank you, BB, for the $5 super chat. This feels like deja vu. Same clothes, same place, 2 days later. Has anything been resolved at all?
Right. And this is why I get tired. But I do think we're getting to something. But you claim there's a fundamental difference between the Injera situation and our situation.
Oh, of course I claim that. Because if this was literally the...
What you claim is that this is viable.
Yeah.
But of course, in reality, 179 people watching and like making $1,000 a month, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so that has to be taken into account.
Yeah, that's true. It's reality.
So then there needs to be some kind of vision of how this is very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
This is very familiar, right?
Yeah.
You're saying one night at this hotel, our month of super chats is 1/4 used up by one night at this hotel.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and so like, ooh, okay, it should be very different than that if we were currently viable. We don't have to be currently viable.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is sort of getting ourselves in debt, which also happened at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so you have to ask yourself, because I can't answer the question for you. If I spend that money, is it a good investment? Or should we be cheap? Because like, I'm going to feel bad if we don't get anywhere with this investment. You see what I'm saying?
I do understand.
And you say, well, tell me the answer.
I understand.
And I'm telling you, I cannot tell you the answer. It has to do with you.
I understand that. Okay. My answer is...
And it's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
Of this, like, ugh. But if I use the example of yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. And I say, like, all right, yeah, it was a little irrational, but like, yes, do it, right? It's obviously the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't take me that long to say, like, okay, this is prudent. Sitting there saying, like, okay, well, let's just waste time having it not get worked on is stupid. You obviously have to shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Okay. But in this case, you're like, well, it's more complicated. I get it. It is more complicated. Mm-hmm. And there is a question of prudence, but I just don't think you have a basic sense of rationality upon which a sense of prudence is based. And then you turn to me and go, well, what do you think is prudent?
So
I think that's crazy.
You can't answer the question, but I also can't answer the question because I don't have basic prudence. Well, wouldn't I just be answering the question by saying, like, okay, so the question of whether we should pay to stay here is like, okay, so do we want to spend another day walking around, exhausting ourselves, trying to figure out how to get back somewhere or Ubering to the studio? And
well, I mean, yeah, there are also like basic questions of prudence. Like, so you're saying like, okay, well, we have to sleep somewhere tonight.
Yeah.
okay, so there's no real easy answer to that because, I mean, you're aware of this stuff. You're
Yeah, I'm aware
aware
of
that,
all of it.
like, it's not that this hotel is particularly expensive. All of them around her are expensive.
Yeah.
But in order for us to get to a hotel that's significantly cheaper, which may or may not even be true because you haven't researched it,
Right.
we would have to pay someone to drive us there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we eventually have to make our way back here to get the RV, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you've told them to go ahead with that. So it, like, all of these things are factors, but I don't think you have the basic rationality to make a prudential decision. But you
Okay.
go, well, you do, and I do think I do. But my sense of rationality is hampered by because my sense of what makes sense is like, if you really were like in with me, then I think it would be clear.
Yeah.
But you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe, like, I can't handle you. I can't handle your demandingness. Like, I'm, maybe too much of a victim of, not me. I know you're saying not me, but of, like, these circumstances that become overwhelming, and I can't actually make it happen. But the situation you're in, you're either going to make it happen or not. You can't be like, well, I'd like to make it happen, but I don't seem to be able to. That is exactly what I dealt with.
Yeah. Okay.
For 17 years. And so I get that makes it, like, even more difficult for you because, like, I'm even less patient with that than I would be if I hadn't, right? Like, I'm incredibly exhausted by someone telling me that.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's called reality.
Yeah, that's part of reality.
And if you say, I want to do this with this guy, like, that's who I am. I'm someone who's had that experience. And so, like, if you're going to do that, it's tricky.
Okay, well, I'm absolutely certain that I'm in with you 100%. So I think the answer is let's pay for the night and just let's invest. I don't care about the money. You don't have to worry about it. Let's invest. I want to get through this. I believe we can totally, like,
okay, but then why is it like, I don't know? Okay, and the answer is because, let's be honest, look that way, not at me. The answer is because if you invest and then you falter, and you say, I'm too exhausted, can we not stream? Can we just watch TV?
Yeah.
Right? Then you'll feel like I wasted that money because we didn't get anywhere.
It's true.
And it puts a lot of pressure on you to now make it prudent.
True.
Right? Like, to make it seem, because I could say, like, well, that wasn't prudent at all.
Yeah.
Because all you did is, like, get nervous about having spent that money.
Yeah, that's true. If that's all I do, then, like, okay.
Okay. And then you'll kind of say in your mind, like, this guy's a fucking asshole because he should see something.
You know all the same things I do. It's up to me whether I believe that it's worth investing in or whether I don't think I can.
So the question back to the Injera question, right? Okay, so when we go back to the Injera question, if you put yourself in that place, right, of that person that I can't disparage legally, you can have a lot of sympathy for that person.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, but fundamentally, you cannot sympathize with that position.
Yeah, because they have to get out of that position. Because
there's a, like, I don't know. Is it possible for people? You can't know this, but, like, don't we all have to be real on some level about reality? I mean, is there really, like, a way in which you could say, like, I can't do that? Like, when you have children, when you're spending tons of money, when you have a man who has, like, obvious, like, abilities, who is waiting on you, right? Don't you have an obligation to say, if this person is saying like, are we going to do this or not, to say like yes or no, and not give me a little more time, Mac, but like, what should we do now? Right? It's infuriating.
Yeah, it's infuriating. But that's
But
because
you
she
just
never...
did it.
Yeah, that's true. I just did it, but I kind of didn't understand how it was just like, I didn't understand that like if we were to check out and go to the studio, like that would kind of be saying like it's not worth it to invest in this. And I just like, I don't really care about money. Like I have it, I can spend it. I think it's worth it to invest.
But saying like I don't really care about money is not very like
I'm
reassuring.
saying, no, I get what you're saying, but like you know that like
why
I'm a
not, instead of
careful
saying I don't
spender.
care about money, why not say like it's a prudent investment?
Yes.
And this is why.
Okay, I think it's a prudent
Okay, instead of going
investment.
like, well, I don't care about money, like whatever, easy come, easy go. That's like, oh Jesus, like don't tell me that.
Okay, but you know, like I'm a careful person with money. But okay, yes, I see what you're saying. I think it's a prudent investment.
But Grace, don't you understand? Like that was also told me by another person.
Yeah.
And this kind of idea of like niggardliness as prudence is, I just think like I'm the type of person, right? I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
Or crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I was unable in my life to do like the 9 to 5, to be a dentist and all those things. Although I had the ability, and you have the ability to do those type of things too, on paper.
On paper, yeah.
Okay, but I'm a big person.
Yeah.
And so anyone aligned with a big person has either got to be big like them or get out of their way. Because this half thing is going to make this big person want to kill this other person. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like either get on board the big ride or get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And being like, I don't know. It's right. Like you need both people. You need, and I love this idea of a team, of a duo.
Yeah.
Okay, but if one of the duo is like, I don't know, like, how long can that go on for? It's crazy making.
Yeah, and we're not going to keep doing it. And I know you're.
And eventually,
look, and
eventually, let's be honest. Eventually, this person.
Yeah.
This person is going to go, what the fuck? What the fuck? Right? And this person is eventually either going to say like, yeah, or is going to go, fuck you. I want you dead, dead, dead.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I know.
But you're sitting here going like, oh, I'm trying. And I'm like, okay, just kill me or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, I know where this is going to go. Yeah. How can you be here?
Well, because my patterns, because that's what I was shown. That's why I'm there. But I'm saying like, okay, I'm going to go here. I believe this is a good investment.
Oh, let's say like the extra $100, okay, or whatever, $150, okay.
Yeah.
I know what it costs to the $150 is nothing, right? Because the $150 gets you here, right? Yeah. Theoretically, unless you go, oh, actually, this makes me even more here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see, right?
Right. Yeah.
But if you say, well, I can't do the $150, I'm going to go here. Like, I know I'm dead. Like, if that is the continued pattern.
Sure.
I know I'm dead, and it's $500,000.
Yeah.
And my reputation.
Yep.
And jail time. Okay. That's inevitable. Yeah. If you're in this position. It is a dangerous, dangerous position that I'm in regards to you. It's dangerous. I've already been to jail 4 times. And like, you've got me, right? Yeah. Like, because I've been investing.
Yeah.
You've got me. And when you turn on me, like, so, well, I'll say if you turn on me, which looks like when you turn on me, I've got nothing. I've already had my it's super easy for you just to go like, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done in life. But at least I will say, at least I gave it a shot. And bitches be crazy. Yeah. Okay. But you're like, well, I don't know. I don't think you want me to. And it's like, no, I want to either get killed or make it big. There's no like, okay, let's save $100.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that.
Does
I'm
anyone
not
have
worried
any
about
sympathy
it.
for that?
I'm
Because does anyone have any sympathy? Because that looked like I thought that looks like narcissism. It looks like I'm saying like, look, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be famous and rich or die trying. I actually think that's kind of true. Yeah, like that is my philosophy. Well, isn't that narcissism? Because you're a fucking loser who's like it's amazing. The only reason he's got 181 people here is because his daughter's tits. Okay, maybe that's true.
That's not true. I
Well,
don't think
maybe that's
true. At all.
true. My channel never got in the triple digits. I was
That's
like, wow,
not
look
true.
at you with your triple digits.
That's
okay,
not
but
true. It did.
okay, but stop saying that over and over and over.
But you're saying, okay, well, you're making a case that just doesn't make any sense.
Well, but I get it. I get it. I get it. But you're like, no, I don't totally like. I'm just saying, like, that is the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're saying, like, well, you know, I could go either way. And it's like, okay, that's the most frightening thing anyone could say to me who's in a position like you're in. It's the most frightening thing. I don't really know. I could go either way. Okay, so like, that's terrifying. Because why haven't you said, let's do this?
Because I've been a victim of abuse. That's why. Because
Okay,
I had patterns of self-doubt and questioning and not being confident.
Hey, here's a newsflash. This person was also a victim of abuse.
I know, but like, I'm not on the
legitimately,
that's true.
Was a victim of abuse.
Yeah.
And was very honest about a lot of things.
No, not really. She wasn't honest about her situation with her parents at all. She lied to you for years.
Okay, but then actually was honest and did say, like, yeah, no, I had that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But it's a different level. You know that's true. She didn't have, like, she's basic, like, autistic, like,
but I'm not smart enough. I don't have the ability to recognize here, like, what's true and what's not true about this. I just know it should either be this or it's going to be like this.
Okay. I promise you, it's going to be like this. I have
no idea.
It's never going to be this. I know that that's what.
Well, I was told that too.
I know, but you can't decide. Like, there's obviously been major differences between me and her. I know. She's done horrible things.
Right, and what assurance do I have? What assurance do I have? It's exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same. She could not have had this conversation with you. She would have freaked out and.
Go rewind back to 2 years ago. It was very similar.
For me? Yeah. She went down. I've gone up. I've gotten better at having these conversations and understanding what you're talking about and saying, yeah, okay, I actually do want to deal with the deeper issues. I've made a lot of progress. It's not similar.
Yeah, I agree.
It is 11:22, and it's time to invest in the rest of our lives. Let's go.
Well, I can very much see, like, tomorrow you going like, I didn't make it happen. It's the same thing. But okay.
Well, then that's what it is. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm taking a certain amount of risk. Okay, whatever. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Okay. Basic services. Let's go. You want to go have a smoke? Like, theoretically, I understand, like, I should have just done this and not told you about it, but I think it's okay. Like,
no, Grace, you don't understand the dynamic.
Okay.
Duh Freak for $2 says, just stop being over the top weird. That's all.
Star of David, cross, Islamic.
Okay.
Moon.
Who is that geared to? Thank you for your $2.
not sure who that scared you.
Who is being over the top weird?
Maybe both of us.
Okay, but Grace, I completely understand why you're in the position you're in.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're going in this. I think you're saying like I'm going in this direction, right? Look here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is problematic about that is that I think you've got to go here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to get all the way up
This is
there.
actually, it only works here.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to get there.
This incrementalism is actually failure.
Right.
Because as it gets like this, it becomes even more infuriating that it's not like this.
Yeah, that's true. The closer you are, the worse it kind of
So there's
gets.
a way in which you say like, okay, like when we first interacted, you're like, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Hold on.
But then it's like at a certain point, it should be like, whoosh. Is it like that motion?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but you're like,
yeah, and maybe I won't be able to do that. I think I will, but like maybe I won't. There will be off ramps, and then we'll like, okay, that'll be what it is. But I totally believe I can get up.
And now, what do you want?
I need 5 minutes to book a room. You're welcome. To have
I
a cigarette.
prefer that you do that somewhere else.
Okay, sure.
And you know that.
I did not know that because I would have thought you would want updates.
I just find the whole thing like, do it, don't do it.
Okay.
But don't sit. Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, I got it. It's done. I'll do it somewhere else.
It's not done.
I'll make it happen. Okay? I'll make it happen.
Well, okay. Showtime AD7 says he's lost it. Kai says, go away, peasant. But don't you understand? It's irritating to be around someone who, like, I'm going to try to make this argument. It's like, it's not my issue. I can't offer anything. So go do that and don't tell me about it. Because my brain's been fried on those things. How do I know what's prudent when someone doesn't even know whether they're on board or not? You know? And I'm saying like this whole thing stemmed with this idea of like, okay, we need to sit and work through this and get some understanding. And then from that point, you can kind of see whether you're on board or not. And yeah, I just get this like, I don't want to do that. Okay, well then that's an answer. I would say that it means you're not on board. How would you be on board, but you don't want to talk about what the underlying concept is? Toxicity Rules says, it is an issue, Ben. You want a bed tonight. Yeah, I can't. I actually think it's been many moons since I have known where I am going to sleep at night in the morning. And I think that's okay. But obviously, you're not going to succeed in the world if you spend a significant amount of time every day trying to figure out where you're going to sleep based on prudential judgments that are based on irrationality. Hey, Fed Up, do you want to come up? Grace is, where are you, Grace?
I'm in the other room.
I don't want, shut the door.
What?
I don't want the vibe. You want to be around me, vibing me.
I can't listen to your stream. I'm just listening
Okay, so you're not going to shut the door. I want to talk about. I want to do what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I think you sitting there going like, I don't know how the internet works. Oh no, I don't have the right incidentals. It's just vibey. I know this vibe.
Okay, I'll do it.
And you're doing it on purpose.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
That's what is okay.
Okay, fine. I'm doing it.
I think Grace.
I'll stop the vibe.
No.
Through the doors.
No. Okay. No. You have to at a certain point get it.
Okay.
You have to at a certain point get it. And I know why you don't get it. You're operating here saying like, oh, it's not vibey. I just want him to know that I care. Fuck you.
Okay.
And I'm going to double down on me being the asshole.
Okay.
Because I think being a nice guy just ends up with me getting killed. And you and other people in my life who I've been really, really patient and kind with have seen fit to want to torture me because I'm an F slur. Right?
I agree. Other people have tortured you.
Other people, not you.
I've abused.
But I want an end to it.
Okay.
So I'm willing to say, like, okay, I'm going to make the case. Yes, I'm an asshole. I'm ambitious. I want to go big. I am never going to compromise with failure unless it's like, tried your best, didn't happen. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not going to be okay with someone saying, hey, let's be partners, but I have a lot of issues that I don't want to deal with.
Yeah. That's
fuck you.
Okay. All right.
Pick a lane. Exactly. Avoid the braille door signs for jokes and you can succeed. All right. So I'm going to invite. I mean, at least I think everyone could agree with me in chat here. Everyone could agree with me that in some ways I'm an asshole and I own it. And that like I've never once said, I don't know that I've said very much like I'm ever going to change. I might be a nicer person at times, but like I'm basically an asshole. And if someone wants to like be partners with an asshole, they've got to say like, okay, I love it. Or you're an asshole and I don't love it. And that's fine. WTF is here. Hello, darling. Thanks for coming up.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Asshole gang. Exactly. I think this world needs a lot more assholes, especially towards women.
Hello, can you hear me? Wait, why?
WTF, are you there? She's gone. She made her choice. Well, I don't know. She had a...
Okay, I tried my absolute best. There are no rooms available today. I just waited too long. There's no rooms available here.
Okay, and you told them downstairs that you need a late checkout.
Yeah, and they said 11:30, and it's 11:32.
It's 2 minutes ago.
Right.
Okay, they have a cart.
Yes.
And you can put everything on the cart.
Yeah. I don't even need a cart, to be honest. We have a backpack.
Well, it's just easy to do on a cart, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Why don't, okay, just, this is my thought. Okay, there's a place.
The world needs assholes, yes.
There's a place across the street that is like $250. Okay, but here's the thing. These third-party booking sites, they tell you that they have a place available. And then when you try to make the booking, they'll go, oh, sorry, this is no longer available. But you have to like press confirm payment.
Can you go down there and ask them whether they're fully booked tonight instead of trying to do it on the internet and saying like the internet told me this?
Yes, I will, but they'll tell me they can't check that online. You have to book it online because that's what they said last time I tried to extend.
They can't tell you if there's an open room in this hotel.
That's what they said. They said we can't do any of that stuff at the front desk. You have to book it online. That's what they said. I don't know.
Okay, I believe you. So then now you're going to do it just to like, what?
I was gonna get a cart.
All right.
But listen. Okay, so maybe. Okay, I was not expecting.
You're telling me the people running this hotel cannot tell you if there's a room available.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was that.
So if you go to the front desk and you say like, "I'd like to get a room," they would say like, "That's not what we do here."
Yes. I'm telling you. I'm literally telling you.
Okay, I'm. You understand? Like it seems crazy to me to say that, but like,
right.
okay, maybe that's how hotels work because they also won't take cash, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess because they don't want to get robbed or they don't trust their own employees or whatever. But like,
yeah. I said, can I extend my stay? Can I stay another night here? They said, we don't do that here. You have to book online and create a new reservation.
Okay, and maybe, but there is obviously a native site.
Yeah, if you go to the native site, it says
chain.
No rooms available today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they do that at the front office and say like there's no rooms available? The front desk?
I mean, they might tell you. I don't know.
Okay.
The girl there just seemed to say like, we don't do that at all. We can only check you in and check you out. I'm telling you.
Okay. Not every employee is really, but okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. Okay. But this situation could have been avoided by dealing with it earlier.
That's true.
Okay. And it wasn't dealt with earlier.
That's true.
And so it is what it is.
Yeah, we're at this place now.
Okay, so this feels very much like an Injera situation.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
We are now here 5 minutes after we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You're sitting here comfortably. And I think they're going to charge it. Like the whole idea of like late, you're too late. They charge you. That's why they have that $100.
That's true.
So why wouldn't we be getting at least out of this room?
Okay, we should do that.
You just said, I think it's prudent now to sit down.
I'm not, okay.
And have a discussion about whether you screwed up.
Okay. You're right.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
What is this? Oh.
I'm crazy. I'm an asshole. I'm not saying you're an asshole, but you're crazy. I'm an asshole and you're crazy.
I'm gonna get
Let's make lots of money.
dealing with the
Ben, have you
issues.
tried marijuana? And now I know chat's gonna go, well, fucking help her.
There's not even anything to clean up.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say that, but okay. Now, where do we go from here? Dan the man. What is happening?
Am I up there? Hold on.
Can't hear you. Is this working?
I know.
Did you try?
1 second.
There we go.
Oh no, now you work. She had it muted.
All right. No, I think it was me,
Sometimes
honestly.
I have the laptop muted.
WTF, get back up here. We heard you. I look like an autistic kid with the beats on while I'm driving. But what are you
we
guys
gotta
going to
do?
do?
Transition here. Dan, talk to WTF. She sounds like a lovely young woman.
She does.